guys, welcome to the Haunted Valley. Today we're going to talk about Jaws of the Revenge, the fourth movie in the Jaws franchise. Now, this is definitely the lowest rated of all the Jaws movies, which is why I thought I would go in reverse order and review them 4, 3, 2, 1. And I like this movie. I've watched it a lot, not as much as Jaws, but I have watched it many, many times, and I don't think it's as bad as everyone says. So, hear me out. This movie was released in 1987. It starts out on Amity Island during the Christmas season, and Ellen is living on the island with Sean. Martin has died. Michael is living down in the Bahamas with his family. He has a wife and a daughter. So we're briefly on Amity Island at the beginning of the movie. Sean is working for the police department. He goes out on the police boat by himself at night. The shark comes and attacks him, kills him. So at his funeral, we see a cameo from Mrs. Kintner from the first Jaws movie. She's in it, which is kind of a nice little nod. And Mike Brody, who is played by Lance Guest, and I had a huge crush on him. And that might explain why I like bearded men. He convinces Ellen to go back with him to the Bahamas to spend Christmas. He thinks that it would be good for her to get away from Amity Island and just take a break from all of this. So they go down to the Bahamas. Lorraine Gary has reprised her role. Mike's wife, Carla, is an artist. His daughter, Thea, is, I don't know how old, but she's quite little. Thea was played by Judith Barsi, and she was killed in real life by her father, who killed her and her mother, and then himself. And it was a tragedy. She had voiced Ducky in Land Before Time. She was in a lot of little roles on TV and stuff like that. So anyway, Ellen is now down in the Bahamas with her son and his family for Christmas. She meets Michael Caine, who is kind of a dashing pilot who is kind of questionable in his gambling, and he's kind of a scoundrel, I guess. And they have a thing together. When I was younger, I did not like the Michael Caine character, Hoagie, at all. We used to kind of pick on him, me and my sisters, and I hated that he always called her Ellen Brody. It just drove me crazy that he used her first and last name all the time. There's not much shark attack action going on in this movie. The shark kind of just hangs around. The shark has apparently followed Ellen down to the Bahamas, and Mike is now a marine biologist. So he goes from being some sort of like architect, designer person for a SeaWorld amusement park to being a marine biologist in this movie. So he is working on research of big snails in the ocean, and his research partner is Jake, who provides a lot of the comedic relief in this movie, and he is played by Mario Van Peebles, and I also had a crush on him. So Mike and Jake are hanging out on their research vessel. They are just doing their snail thing when the shark comes by, and Mike is freaked out. He gets chased by the shark. He's freaked out. And Jake convinces him that they should study him, that, it's rare to have a great white in such warm water, and, it's unheard of, and they should tag it and, pay attention to it. So Mike agrees, but he says, don't tell the family because they will not like this. They will not like it at all. They agree to keep it a secret. Everything is going on as normal. Ellen is traumatized having dreams about getting attacked by sharks. She worries about her granddaughter playing in the water. You know, she just does not do well, even in the new setting, which I think is pretty cool that they changed the setting. I think that having it be tropical, having it be very different from cold, bleak Amity setting in the winter, to having it be tropical with clear water, bright colors. I mean, there's even a parade. It's just very colorful and fancy. So things come to a head when Carla is giving a speech at a beach. She has an art piece that's going to be dedicated, and it's like an opening, and it's all fancy, and you know, there are tons of people, and you know, Thea wants to go on this banana boat ride, and you know, the adults have other things to do. They're busy with this ceremony, so it's like, yep, just go. And what it is a motorboat pulls a huge banana boat inflatable thing. So there are people on it. There's an adult on it, so it's okay for the kids to be on there. And Thea joins in, so you see them riding along. All of a sudden, the shark comes up. And when I was younger, this is how I saw the scene, and now I can't unsee it. I've been told that this is not a correct interpretation, but to me, it always looked like the synchronization was off. So when the shark comes up and it's gonna bite the woman, the adult, Margaret's mom, it looks like she thrusts her leg into the shark's mouth. But I think what the intention was is the shark gets her, clamps down on her, and then she kind of flails because of the, you know, the pressure and all that stuff. But to me, it always looked like she thrusts herself valiantly into the shark's mouth to save the children. I'm sure that's wrong. I'm sure that's not what it was intended, but that's how it always looked to me. There's a huge commotion at the beach. Carla always annoyed me. Her character, the actress who plays her, everything about her just annoys me. And she is screaming for Thea. You know, they get Thea back. She's unharmed. Mike is conversing with Carla, Thea, Louisa. You know, they're telling him, you know, a shark attacked her, and he kind of lets it slip that, you know, this wasn't supposed to happen. He and Jake were trying to keep tabs on the shark. So then they know that he knew about the shark, and Carla just totally flips out. And in the meantime, Ellen has decided that she needs to finish this once and for all. She's going to kill the shark herself. So she ends up taking the research vessel that Jake and Mike have. She goes out into the ocean looking for the shark, assuming that the shark is going to find her, which it does. So Mike gets Jake. They run into Hoagie, Michael Caine, and he is a pilot, so he can fly them to check and see where Ellen is in the water. On the water once they find Ellen, and they have to swim onto the research vessel. The shark ends up attacking the plane, and you think that Hoagie is dead, but he pops up. So he's alive. They decide to put an electrical, I don't even know, some sort of electrical charge, shocking device. They feed it to the shark, which is silly. The shark grabs Jake from the bow, takes him into the water. It's bloody, and you're pretty sure that Jake is gone. He pops up later. Just saying, they could have killed a couple people, but they didn't. Hoagie, Jake, probably both should have died. And the way they kill the shark is they use the electrical charge to drive it crazy, upset it, and then I guess the theory is Ellen rams the boat into the shark, and it hits the electrical impulsy thing, and the shark explodes. Which is all plausible when you're an 11-year-old kid and you just go with it. Now it's kind of, I don't know if that would work. It's not like a grenade, but maybe it does. Maybe that works. So that's the basic concept of the movie, and I don't think it's the worst. It's not the best, but it's better than I think it was just called Great White, or the last Great White, The Last Shark, some sort of Italian movie that totally ripped off Jaws, and the shark they used was awful. It didn't look like anything. So I will check the IMDb rating and I will put it up here and let you guys know how much people hate this movie. And, let me know down in the comments. Is this a movie that you like? Don't like? Do you watch other Jaws movies and pretend this one doesn't exist? Do you think it should have been the last one in the franchise? Do you think that maybe they should have done another Jaws movie with Thea grown up? I would like to know what you think. To me, I think it's a fine movie. It's a Jaws movie. It's fine. I don't understand the issue with it. The only issue that I have with it is that I would like to see more banana boat type situations in this movie. Have a spooky day.